How you doing? This is Cory Hunter, and welcome to another episode of my favorite scenes from my favorite movies. All right, here we're gonna switch things up. All right, so this isn't from one of my favorite movies. All right, this is from one of my favorite series. Right, and this is not even live action. This is animated. Right. Long story short, we're watching the anime, alright? This is like one of my favorite fight scenes from the anime because I don't even know. But usually because of the sheer scale of an anime, you can't just stop at a scene. You gotta break down a whole episode or whatever the case may be, right? But we're not gonna do all that because, what we gonna dive into is Dragon Ball Z, right? Dragon Ball Z is like, it's all masculinity, it's all rage and power and overcoming and, 5 episodes of yelling and building up ki and power and transformation and transfiguration and whatever the case, all that. You get me? It's all about the action, it's all about the fights. But what Dragon Ball Z do is they know how to infuse emotion into their fights, right? I'm an 80s baby, so growing up, it's not like it is now. Like, this is before Naruto or anything like that. This is when, if you wanted to watch an anime, you had to find bootleg tapes to watch it, right? It wasn't even like you could go to the video store and buy it, right? Because it wasn't a lot of translations, right? So growing up, I remember Dragon Ball finally hit like WB11. For those of you who don't know, the CW used to be the WB, which is for Warner Brothers. WB11, because it used to come on Channel 11, and that's what it was, right? With the singing frog. It's a bit of a throwback, but I don't think it was that far back. But if it is that far back, whoo! It used to come on like real early in the morning at like an odd time, but on the Sunday at that, right? Because, we had our Saturday morning cartoons, but, wake up Sunday, what do you have? If you wake up early enough, you get a little bit of anime, you know what I'm saying? I remember, if you knew what times to get up at, you see a Sailor Moon, a Dragon Ball Z, Once Upon a Time was Thundercats, but Thundercats is more American. My thing was Ronin Warriors. Nobody speak about Ronin Warriors, man, but Ronin Warriors was really my joint. I got out film school for that because I bang with it. But anyway, man, just watching Dragon Ball Z and fan favorite Vegeta, and this is the first time, or maybe the second time because he fought Deidara before this. But this is the fight with Vegeta versus Zarbon. Zarbon is like one of the villains of the show, for those of you who don't know. And Vegeta is a villain. In this point in time, he still is considered the villain. So you're watching two villains fight, but you clearly like one villain more than the other. I don't think anybody was ever like, oh yeah, these are two villains fighting, and I can see this guy's side and I can also see that guy's side. No, I think everybody was really one-sided in this fight. They was like, yo, we want Vegeta to win because the glow up is crazy, and he never stops, right? Just keep it moving. But that we gonna get into it, right? We're gonna dive into this fight, Vegeta versus Zarbon. And Zarbon is a pretty boy, man. Pretty boy, good design for a character. But this is just dope storytelling. You can when you got a villain who becomes likable. Look at him. Why would you like this dude? Look at him looking mad cocky.
So, we finally meet again, Zarbon. What a surprise. I've already disposed of it.
Look at him feeling himself. But that's how we be feeling sometimes. It feels good to feel yourself. Everybody's talking about be humble, but have confidence in yourself. Vegeta really have confidence in himself.
My powers have improved in more ways than you could ever imagine.
You feel me?
Learn some new tricks then. Well, we'll see.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It feels good. It just feels good. This is like the elite. Cause this is how it feels when you've been practicing. It was like, yo, this dude is on a whole nother level, and then you're able to smack their energy beams like that. What? Look at it. Feels good. They're like, how? That's right. That's what hard work do. Cause not for nothing. By this point, Vegeta been through it. Cause he always been a natural talent, a natural fighter. He's never been lazy. He always been willing to put in the work. But he was coming off that fight from Goku. Those of you who know, it was a rough fight. You know what I'm saying? And he had a nice glow up because of that fight. He done learned a lot. You feel me? Cause that's the thing I like about Dragon Ball 2, man. It's he goes through a lot of stress. So when he built back up, they're saying because he's an alien, which is a saying, naturally their bodies rejuvenate. It comes back stronger, right? The more damage they take, when they heal back stronger, right? Which is, I guess, a metaphor for the human spirit, right? You go through, you learn from your mistakes, and their body learn from its mistakes on the genetic level. But thing with Vegeta, as well as Goku, is that it's not just raw power. They also learn in skill and battle experience. So he be coming, look at him, feeling himself. He's coming feeling himself because he's like, yo, I've been through this. What you got that I ain't experienced yet? Because it's not a lot. You get me? What's up? And then, there's some real life stuff too. Sometimes you get a little too cocky and you be thinking you got somebody carded, then you realize, oh man, I didn't have this dude card. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, this dude is a geek. He's an average geek. You don't have no idea that, this dude is a black belt, man, who does this. Should have left that man alone. You be like, yo, man, they can't do it. You be like, you don't know that person's willpower, man. You know what I'm saying? You do not know their willpower. You know what I'm saying? That man want to be the best dancer there ever was, alright? And all your evil talking is doing is giving that man encouragement, yo. But yeah, this was it was dope in itself because you was watching Vegeta, and Vegeta was the big villain, and then you realize that he's just, another dude in a long line of other characters, and you're like, dang, but I really liked Vegeta. So seeing him come back and become, because this isn't just the comeback of Vegeta, this is him evolving into a pillar of Dragon Ball Z. Because this is what Dragon Ball Z is. It's Goku and Vegeta. It's not just Goku and Gohan. It's Goku and Vegeta. And them taking the time to just focus on Vegeta and build him up was dope. Look at that willpower, because we can all identify with that. That's why he's not a villain in our book. In our book, we like going back, looking back in retrospect. We like, nah, man, that man just got hard. He refused to yield. I feel him. Hey, Vegeta, look at my man. All right, out here. And look at him. Overpowered, but not yield. He will not fold. Refuse to fold. And that's what Dragon Ball Z is about, man. It's a continuation. It continues to remind us, man, the power of the human spirit, even though, the dude not human, but, our will to not quit, to overcome obstacles. Look at this. And I like this fight too, man, because, this is before the golden hair and the green eyes, before Super Saiyan So before Super Saiyan gods, before these other forms, he out here fighting, sensu beings, just old school. And look at this. No special technique, just getting it in, just And I always respected that Vegeta always rock his Saiyan uniform, man. His heritage, man. He's with that. You know what I noticed? With the Saiyans is like, and even it's supposed to be space armor, but it's clearly influenced by samurai armor, right? And just in a creative sense. So when you look at Trunks, because I used to always be confused, I'm like, why is Trunks walking around with a sword? They give reasons and explanation, but it's like, it's odd, it's odd. It just didn't make sense, but it makes perfect sense when you realize that his father is Prince Vegeta, and they have a lot of samurai influence on them. So naturally, his son wouldn't have the armor and stuff because he comes from Earth, but he has the sword. So yeah. But yeah, man, that was a fight. Vegeta versus Zarbon. Vegeta lost that. Oh man, but he did not yield. All right. So yeah, man, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to that. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. It's not usually, it wasn't from a movie, it was from an anime, but we can appreciate animes because we appreciate narratives, right? We're not gonna be like that, right? We're not only gonna be watching the classics, the Back to the Future and all that, and Citizen Kane. Be like, all the other stuff is garbage, man. We smarter than that. We're on another level. Good stories is good stories. Dragon Ball Z is a good story. That's why it still holds, all right? I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Yeah. And you already know we out here.